durable, adaptable, and ready for anything, kind of like us. But according to a viral video on social media, or just a video on social media, anything does not necessarily include snow. Now, the video you're seeing is a CyberTruck struggling to move on what appears to be a relatively snowy driveway with a slight incline. Now, this was not the only video that surfaced showing a CyberTruck struggling in the snow. Back in December, a video showing a CyberTruck being pulled out by a Ford pickup truck after sliding off a snowy trail made the rounds, of course, through social media. So does the CyberTruck have a snow problem? Investors and prospective buyers definitely are maybe seeing this kind of stuff. Could it affect the way they think? Let's take it to our next guest. Joining us now, Deepwater Asset Management Managing Partner Gene Munster and Haggerty Auto journalist and editorial video producer Jason Camisa. Jason, I'm going to start with you. Okay, I've raced cars for 25 years, and I know a little something about cars. Driven an awful lot of them in all kinds of conditions. And everybody's going after the CyberTruck, the Musk haters, like ha ha, like the kid from The Simpsons. I would say this: any really heavy car with a lot of torque is going to have a hard time in the snow, whether it's a CyberTruck or another truck, right?
Right. I mean, look, everyone gets to say, ha, 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 look at the CyberTruck, which looks like it couldn't get CyberStuck. And the problem here is that if everyone posted a video every time an F-150 got stuck in the snow, TikTok servers would explode. I mean, this is just because all eyes are on the CyberTruck based on how it looks.
Yeah. Gene, you're more the investor side. And why are we doing the story? Well, we're doing the story on Last Call, not because we're bashing the CyberTruck. I have to drive it first to know what I think about it. But we just wonder, could this hurt Tesla and the sales if these videos, the people go around, they don't like Musk or whatever it may be, and they're like, I thought about getting one, but man, it won't go up a hill in the snow.
Well, for starters, is that they have more demand than they can meet with supply. They're probably going to do about 35,000 vehicles in this year. And so it's not going to have an impact on sales for the foreseeable future, probably for the next 1 to 2 years. But there is a fundamental question related to snow. And if you are someone who lives in a snowy climate and somebody who owns a pickup truck and is considering buying a CyberTruck, and that's present company included, this video caught my attention and is, again, very close to putting that order into the CyberTruck. I want to hear more. I want to see more. I want to see if they can make a software update to maybe tweak how those wheels are torquing to try to get up those inclines and just get more body of evidence, because what I saw today is not what I experienced in my current Ram 1500. It would go lickety split up that incline with that snow.
Well, also, I would ask you, what kind of tires you have on the Ram 1500. By the way, I think the best looking pickup truck out there. But am I right, Jason? I mean, what kind of tires? Is this guy, whoever's driving it, maybe he's a terrible driver. I don't know. I'm not insulting him. I don't know who it is, right? Because I see a lot of people where they're like, and I get in the car and I'm like, whoop, less gas. There's a lot of variables to this, is my point, before everybody just goes and, takes a giant, bird turd on the CyberTruck.
Right. The single most important thing for us to remember as consumers of content and vehicles is if you see a truck that's stuck and it's spinning all 4 of its wheels, that means it's done and is doing everything it possibly can to maximize the traction available to it. The traction is provided by the tires. And in the case of the CyberTruck, Tesla chose and created a new compound of this one particular tire based on what they call a balance of attributes, right? This is a pickup truck that does 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds.
Yeah.
And so it needs to be able to stop and turn at higher rates of speed than traditional pickup trucks. And for that reason, they gave it far less tread depth, which means that the tread blocks are smaller. So it's a compromise in design. Of course, you can put really, really aggressive, like KO3s, very, very aggressive off-road tires on it, but it's going to cost you in range. And efficiency is another place where traditional pickup trucks don't have to perform so well. So yeah, it's a compromise chosen by Tesla. Will the thing go up a hill with great tires on it? 100%.
Sure, and it'll do it quickly and it'll do it in style. And I think, Jason's making a great point. I mean, cars, and you made one too, cars are designed in large part for where you live and what you do. If you're somebody that tows stuff all the time, you need a certain kind of truck. An electric truck is not going to...
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Shano here. Whoop. Oh, I wish they made a camera that was like when you're turning your phone sideways. So I'm just gonna try to make this as short as possible, real quick, hopefully. CyberTruck is too heavy. It needs more an aggressive package as far as the tires and rim setup. It's made out of stainless steel, yada yada yada. It's almost like Germany with the Panzers and stuff. They used to get stuck in the snow when they went to, especially when they went to a heavier tank. The P2 was, I believe, it was the Panzer II, which was the Tiger. They would get stuck in it. It's just pretty much that's what it is. You have a very heavy vehicle, and anybody that knows trucks, this and that, if you have a heavy vehicle and the tire and the rim setup is just not proper on it, you're gonna get stuck no matter how much power you have. You're just gonna dig in and get stuck. Okay, so the other thing I want to say is, I guess, yeah, I mean, Tesla's not offering, it's not like you got a Ford, you got a Dodge, they have off-road more, whatever's suitable for you. You want a diesel, you want something for towing, you want something that's more for off-road, you want this, you want that. It comes with different tires, you got a Raptor, you got the TRX. So they have models. Now, Tesla doesn't have models of that truck. Maybe they will eventually have models. But if people think that you're just going to lower the air pressure a little bit in your tire or, whatever, it's not going to work on this truck because of its weight. It's as simple as that. It's made of stainless steel. It's got a heavy battery in it. It's got heavy electric engines. The whole vehicle is heavy. So you're going to need to find out when you buy one, if you're buying one, what you're going to need to actually survive in this truck, because it is supposedly a truck, besides it not being very functional as a truck. And then I'm going to get through the three people that would buy this truck. Is the first one is that they lure you in with the 0 to 60 time and how quick the truck is and blah, 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 blah. So those are the one side of the EV guys. They buy them because they don't know how to drive a real car or whatever. They just want to get in it and it goes quick and they hit a button and yay, you know why I can beat you because I hit a button. Like, that's those people. And they lure you in with that like a 1,200 horsepower or 1,100 horsepower and a truck goes 0 to, and that's that lure. Everything else goes out the window. You don't know about the weight, you don't know about the off-road ability, and it shows in that video. They don't know anything about the truck other than, like, I bought it because it's the new kid on the block, it's weird, and it's made by Tesla, and I'm gonna buy it, and it's an EV, and I'm gonna, that goes to the other one, the Save the Planet people. I'm buying an EV because I'm saving the planet. No, you're not saving nothing. Why don't you do some research what it takes to make those batteries? And on top of it, plant life in most areas, when there is plant life in trees, recycles carbons. Find out how much one tree can recycle carbons and produce oxygen. So you're not doing nothing by buying an EV. So that's the second one, is the EV. The third one was actually I forgot. I know those two. Those are probably the main buyers. The main buyers for these cars is. There was a third one. I'll give them, if I remember it, I'll tell you. But that's the main buyers, is like, I guess people that are like in the middle, maybe of both, would be like, I don't know. It's like a person that, I guess it goes more to the 0 to 60 time. It's like, you don't have a car. This is a good example. You don't have a car. And you got to buy a car. Now you have to go to work, you have to go to the store, you have to go to a grocery store, you have to do all this stuff, right? You go out and you buy like a supercar, 2-seater, mid-engine. That's what you want. Why? Because it's fast and it looks cool. All right, people are gonna look at you. Everything else went out the window. Just everything else went out the window. So that's the EV buyer. That's especially the one that's like, if you bought this truck, you are not looking at the functionality of the truck. You're just buying it because you know that it's going to be fast and it's, it's made from Tesla, and everything else just went out the window as far as functionality, weight, this, that, like your actual thoughts of using the vehicle. And then you got the other ones that are most likely not going to buy this truck, because I think the only people are buying this truck is because of that. But the other one is, like, I think all the EV people that think they're saving the planet, they're going to usually those are the women. It's like two categories. The guys buy the EVs because they're fast. The girls are buying the EVs because they think they're saving the planet, for at least most part, not all of them. So you got one buying one because it's fast for the time it is fast, until you have to charge it, or it loses power, or whatever, or it breaks down or blows up from the lithium. Lithium meets water. They're just blowing up in China, like horribly bad. So you got both sides. You got that side and you got the other side. But out of all these EV stuff, that's the only thing I can agree with, is that for a certain period of time, the truck can be very fast, but also combustion engines can be very fast. So it doesn't matter. That, to me, that's, whatever. I mean, I've seen 8-second street cars, 4-cylinders, V8s, you name it. So, to me, that's, you can buy it and drive it and it's fast and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, that goes for a lot of other vehicles out there too, so. And then, again, it's just, the other one is the freaking, I'm saving the planet by getting an EV, less carbons in the air, blah, 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 blah. Newsflash, the Earth has been doing this for a long time. Volcanoes, earthquakes, you name it. Spewing sulfur in the air and everything else. Well, how does the air get cleaned by the Earth's natural cleaning system? It's called plant life. It's called plant life. You want to do something? Don't buy an EV. Go plant a tree. Like go buy some more bushes next to your house or whatever. Or plant some more bushes, or buy more trees, or whatever. Stop cutting, get plastic Christmas tree. Don't cut one down. So the tree huggers, definitely. I do agree with you that we need to stop deforesting. That's a big one. That's what's actually killing. And if it's doing anything, that's what it's doing, deforesting. When you deforest, that's a problem. Trees are we wouldn't be here without trees. And plant life and everything else. So that's what's really hurting. So they should do, like, as far as bamboo I think can grow like a foot a day or something like that. It's crazy. I'm still surprised that people don't have, we just don't start doing the whole bamboo thing. Anyway, food for thought. Back to the truck, guys. I'm going to start ending this video. So it's pretty much, I'm just going through the whole thing, is that truck got stuck because of its weight, because of its tire setup, and you're going to need it doesn't come with an off-road type style package. You're probably going to need a reasonable setup on that truck because of its weight. All right. So you can go watch German tanks getting stuck if you want to before you buy one of these things. You can do some research. Look, just don't be a compulsive buyer out there and just buy it because it's like the new phone. It's almost like an iPhone. It's like people buy iPhones. It's the same freaking phone, but it's like, oh, the new iPhone. I have to have it. It's the new iPhone, and it's literally like the same iPhone they had five phones ago. But people come, they're just like, I got to be the first one to have it. A lot of these stars and stuff out there, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be the first one to buy this CyberTruck, and be the first one to be seen in it. And look at me, take pictures, put it on Instagram. Oh my God, dude, freaking horrible. But yeah, EVs they're not reliable. And that's the truth. That's the honest God truth. He's an EV hater. Part of me is, because I just don't see the reason for it. I don't see the reason of, you got to leave your car plugged in at your house all night with a I see them. I see a line, like a thing, coming out like a fire hose, or not a fire hose, but a whatever. It almost looks like a gas pump, and it's just outside while the people are sleeping in the middle of the night, and it's just plugged into your car. And I'm like, anybody can come up and do whatever they want to it. I just don't see any purpose for them. I really don't see a purpose for an EV. They don't save the planet. I already know about how much emissions and this and that it takes to make those batteries, so it's just like all you're doing is trading off. In fact, they're doing it. They're actually, for right now, they're actually making. It's actually worse than just using gas. And the only benefit I see, or the only thing that comes out at me, because the technology of driving itself and stuff like that, it doesn't matter what's powering it. That technology is out there, so it has nothing to do with it. So the only benefit I see is, you can buy one that's out of the box. That's, I would say they can be fast, but it's like at the same. I think that's the only right in the that piece is that they can be fast, because it's all up. That's where it's at right now. No one would be buying these trucks or Teslas if they weren't fast. If they weren't fast, you think anybody would buy them? As far as the fast guys, only the people thinking they're saving the planet would buy them. Everybody that wants a fast car or fast this or fast that, they would not buy an EV. They can back up an EV all they want and stuff like that because they're fast. If they were not fast, they wouldn't even touch them. They would be making fun. All these EV huggers, they would be making fun of those cars, going, my GTR will smoke it and blah blah blah. That thing's a pile of crap. But since Tesla came out and started promoting how fast they are, when you have the time to be fast and you're using all that juice, because we all know the more you tow, the more you use, blah 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 blah, the more it depletes the battery. Okay, that's not hard to figure out. It's the same thing with your phones and anything else that's battery charged. The more you use it, the more brighter their phone is, the more 4K you put in it, the more whatever you're using on your phone, the faster. That's why it has battery saver. And then what does it do? Is it shuts things down. It shuts certain things down. You might not run the 4K. You might not have 120 frames per second. They might be pushed down to 30 frames per second to save battery life on your phone. Okay, so that's a given. You don't need to own a Tesla and all this other crap to understand that. Is that if you're going 0 to 60, you're doing quarter mile times in like 10 seconds or 11 seconds or whatever it is, and you're going to keep doing those runs, or you're out racing people, you're going to be using battery life. Okay, that's a given. But that's pretty much what it is. It's two people. It's just, for the main part, it's two buyers. It's the ones that buy them because of the speed. The other ones are buying them because they think they're saving the planet. And overall, but they're just junk in my opinion. Panel gaps. I mean, there's so many issues. I'm not saying that other automakers aren't having issues with their cars or recalls and stuff like that. But a lot of times, yeah, if you get stuck in a combustion engine, you can figure out your own problem. It can be fixed on the spot. There's a lot of things, unless your Hyundai's 4-cylinder and it blows up. I don't know why Hyundai or Kia, slash Hyundai, again, can't get their 4-cylinders right. Their V6s are good and this and that, but their 4-cylinders are just, I don't know. It's either the turbo, it's either the valve train. I have no idea. But for the most part, it's just, we've been doing combustion engines for a very long time. Car manufacturers that have been in the business, 100 plus years or whatever. And I know new technologies and stuff like that come out. And that's to me is a problem. But a lot of times, at the end of the road, the old school vehicles, usually they're the ones that last. That's where it comes down to. Those are the ones that are still, if there was an apocalypse or something like that, it would be some old ass truck that's carbureted with no computers. That's where I look at them. That's the vehicle that's going to last forever. Some cast iron push rod, carbureted. Excuse me, I almost said carbureted. I mean, you know what I'm saying. carbureted. For some reason, I was thinking of soda for a second. Carbureted car. Carbureted. That's probably going to last everything. I mean, the retail, too. That just brings me to the retail value of EVs, is that the retail is just going to be shit. I mean, there's a guy that blew up his Tesla because Tesla wouldn't give him a new battery. They said you had to have $30,000 to replace the battery in that Tesla. It was like a 2013 model. And he went out, it's on YouTube, he went out and he blew it up with C4. Literally. Detonated the car because it wasn't worth anything at that point. Maybe parts, I don't know. But they're just, a lot of people complained that they have panel gaps, they have problems, this, that, like all types of issues. 2 girls died in Florida because of the autopilot malfunctioned, and they just went right through an intersection and hit somebody. Like 2 teens. Like, it's... Those automated driving systems, I don't get. I don't get why we need a car that drives itself, why we're pushing that so much. Safety features is understandable. Maybe detects that you're falling asleep, your hands are like, you go like this, and the camera sees that you're just like, you start passing out, and certain things, yeah, I can dig it, but not driving itself, like, all that stuff. If it's like an emergency thing where it like takes you off the road slowly, or like something safety wise, but not driving itself at like 60 miles per hour or whatever. Crap, it's getting into 16 minutes. I can keep talking. I gotta shut up. But that's it. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. Is that the Tesla CyberTruck is just, it's a heavy vehicle. It does not have the right tire and rim package or whatever for maybe the rim's okay, who knows, but I definitely, the tires is killing it because of its weight, and that needs to be changed out. If you're getting a CyberTruck, I feel sorry for you because it's completely useless in my opinion, besides it going 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds or something like that. That's probably the only reason why you're buying it, and it's different. It's a CyberTruck. It looks like it's something that came out of Total Recall, and I think it's the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's just angles put together. Wow, what a design. It's not hard to make, just like triangles and angles. And LED lights. Ooh, watch out. It literally looks like some prop truck that they used in like an 80s movie. But if that's your cake, go right ahead. But overall, I don't see it. If you want that truck, you're gonna have to put some meat on underneath that damn thing, on all 4 corners, and good luck out there. Especially if you're in the woods or something. Keep looking at that battery gauge, because maybe, to be honest, maybe you guys should mount a gas-powered onboard generator, like in the bed, and take a couple gas tanks with you. And that way, if you do get stuck out there in the snow on those tires and stuff like that, and you're just running out of juice in the middle of nowhere, maybe you can, and then plug your CyberTruck into itself. Anyway, I'm out.